Very good morning to you, or good evening, or good afternoon, whatever time it is there. Lovely to see everybody here. So, we're going to start just by putting on some of Sergey's lovely music. We're going to begin by just taking some really nice deep breaths. Let's do a little stretch. Feel free. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Through the nose. Going to go into a lovely expansive state. Our heart opening like a rose. It's opening its petals for the first time. Being awakened by the kiss of the morning. Selma is sharing her rose with us this morning as well. Synchronistically. We call upon Amin. We imagine ourselves sitting at the throne of the infinite. We pray this morning that the illusions and secrets that we have held close to our hearts, that have caused us grief or pain or heartache and stress, may be gracefully and gently swept away by the brush of autumn, to be replaced by total surrender and trust, and the innocence of living in the present moment. We pray that we remember that separation is an illusion, and there is only the one life, and that within the one life there is no time and no space. We pray that from living within the Har Kmet, the place of spaceless space, that we may bring into manifestation only the most beautiful dreams. With deep love, praise, gratitude, trust, and hope for our beloved light family and our beloved Amen. Amen. We're going to begin as we do with the light explosions. So we begin with, we dwell in an impenetrable sanctuary of holiness by proxy for all creatures on earth. So red, the red light. Red shields against hostile frequencies, ill intentions, negative things that come to us from others. And the tone is unconditional living. So I would like us to imagine ourselves as just expanding out to become a field of oneness, which embraces the whole earth as we do this. So again, the red light shields against hostile frequencies, ill intentions, negative things that come to us from others. And the tone is unconditional living. So we're going to explode the red light. Magenta light removes discordant emotions and frequencies, and the tone is wholesomeness. So as we embody this tone of wholesomeness, we explode it out throughout our beautiful earth and let it ripple out throughout the cosmos. Magenta. Amethyst light removes ghosts in the body and environment. The tone we embrace is refined communication. And we embrace this tone amethyst. Golden yellow removes demonic presences and interferences from demonic sources. And the tone to be lived is self-confident authenticity. Yellow, golden yellow. Turquoise light counteracts black magic and any spell that has been placed in a household, on a household or a person. I'll read that again. Counteracts black magic and any spell that has been placed on a household or a person. And the tone is love of labor. Emerald green light shields against invasive frequencies and programs that tell us how to feel, that manipulate emotions. The tone is knowing yourself by being the observer and the observed, stalking yourself, knowing where your actions come from. So we imagine ourselves embracing this tone as we envision the emerald green light. Sky blue light protects against infectious agents, and the tone to live is receptivity through beingness, receptivity through beingness. And we envision this light, it's beautiful sky blue, violet light, protects against EMF, ELF, and geopathic stress. And as we envision this light within our being, traveling out throughout the planet and the whole cosmos, we envision ourselves also as the courageous eternal traveler. Violet light. Amber light protects against particulates in the air. And the tone is recognizing the value of the objectionable. So we don't push away that which we find objectionable. We recognize it. And we envision amber light spreading throughout the planet and the whole of the cosmos. Apple green light protects against viruses. And the tone that we embrace this morning, as we do every morning, is living in the holy sanctuary. Apple green light. We imagine this right throughout the earth as we explode this light together and rippling right out through the cosmos. Aquamarine light shields from fungus, and the tone we live is self-sovereignty in all aspects of life. Self-sovereignty in all aspects of life. We envision this beautiful color throughout our being, our homes, our neighborhoods, our country, and the whole planet and the cosmos. And then the indigo light or does the peach light come first? Is it indigo or peach?
Peach light, Joanne. Peach light.
Light first. Thanks, Vanessa. Peach light shields from parasites. So we envision ourselves embodying this beautiful light, and the tone, disciplined divinity. Spreading throughout the beautiful planet and the cosmos. Now the indigo light, we envision the indigo light which protects us from the hostile waveforms. We envision the color moving throughout our being, the planet, and rippling out throughout the cosmos. And finally, the pearlescent white light forming a shield around all of the other colours. And together we form a shield of beautiful colours and protection around the whole planet. So I'm just going to read a little bit about the heart of hope that Almeen had posted on the original ones. The relationship between the current colours of the light explosion protocol are linear in that the 12 colours represent 3 axes of vertical and horizontal and front to back. By adding the 13th colour, it changes this linear geometry to a loop. To understand this, imagine the 12 colours forming the top loop of a figure 8. Instead of forming straight lines, the indigo blue provides a crossover point, the middle point of the figure 8, the heart of hope. And this is something that we also use in the Arasatma breathing techniques. And we now state that we are completely impervious to all hostile and invasive intent. And we do this as a proxy for the whole planet. So now I'm going to hand you over to Jane. Yay!
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Jane. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Joanne, thank you for that. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I always love the opening prayers.
Oh.
And those light explosions were, well, even better than ever. I'm not.
I forgot where the indigo light went at the last moment. I was like, is it before the peach or after the peach? I can't remember. Anyway,
it was powerful. Very powerful.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we're going on to level 3 of the Arasatma breathing techniques. So yes. Okay, so it kind of follows a similar format anyway to the previous level 1 and level 2. I'm just going to mention a little bit about it. So level 3 is called Evolving the DNA into Higher Expression. And Almeen says, the origin of war comes from the separation of the DNA strands. Being opposites of one another, they are in an antagonistic relationship. And that this antagonism has led to karma over, through our existence. So we're going to be working with what happens then? So we need to evolve the DNA strands, from 2 twisted strands of 150 strands each, resembling a figure 8, to a single untwisted cord of 300 strands functioning as one. So the figure 8 has to become a cooperative circle, or I think a Mobius is the other term that Almeen uses. And the 2 twisted ropes of DNA are separate and create the origin of war. So the complete overcoming of value judgments and the release of regrets is the major component of this dramatic evolution of the DNA. So to help bring this about breath is a really valuable tool because it changes the attitudes of judgmentalism, but it also changes the DNA itself. So this is what the 3rd level of Arasatma breaths is offering us. Okay. So levels 1 and 2 kind of worked with the figure 8, and this time we will be focusing on the navel area, which is like the portal to inner space, and the Harricanet, she's also using that term, which is the 13th meridian as well. So we'll be getting to that in a while. So we're going to, our first 3 breaths, the first breath is focusing in the head as usual. The second breath is in the lungs and heart. And the third breath is in the abdomen. Okay. And we're breathing in white light this time. So during each set of breaths, the white light may differentiate a little bit into other colors, but initially we're breathing in white light. And so for the first 4, as usual, we're sitting in just upright, cross-legged position, spine straight. The in-breath is a deep in-breath and of white light, and we hold that breath as long as is comfortable while you do what what we're instructed to do for each one. And then the out breath is just breathe out as slowly as you can. Okay. Now, so we have 7 different parts, and each one has 12 cycles of in and out breaths. Okay, so our first breath is the Atma Seba Uhud, the breath of the lion's gate. Through trusting surrender, the grand adventure of my existence inspires me into fuller expression. Okay, so this time we're working on the head, and we're taking just the tip of the index finger, so of the left hand, and placing it at the left temple, and the right hand placing it at the right temple. Okay, just into the soft part of the temple. You're going to fill your head with the in-breath, holding it for as long as possible, and it is white light. And then breathe out as slowly as you can. The white light and whatever colors have, appeared will grow dimmer but not disappear. So you're building the display of colors during the 12 in and out breaths. Okay. And when we move to the next part 2 of this, you know that the inner space which has been illuminated by your breaths actually remains, illuminated sort of by your expression. Okay. Okay. All right. Are we ready to go? So Atma Seba Uhud, the breath of the lion's gate. Okay. So breathe in deeply. So that is breath 1. Through trusting surrender, the grand adventure of my existence inspires me into fuller expression. Okay. Breath 2. Atma Avi Uhet Nanastu, the breath of the winged ones. Through appreciative awareness, the unfolding perception and beauty of my eternal being reveals itself to me. Now, in this case, the hand position, so you remain seated as before, and you're placing your hands just here, just below your rib cage and above your abdomen. And so there's just a gap between your hands are facing up, your palms are facing up, and there's a gap, a hand's length there between your hands. Okay, this time, so we inhale deeply, filling the lungs and chest cavity with as much air as possible, and hold the breath for as long as possible, or as long, no, let's just be as long as is comfortable, right? That is really the main thing. And you see your lungs and your chest cavity fill with white light. The heart will pulsate red, orange, and so on through all the colors of the rainbow. With each pulsation, the light within the chest cavity grows brighter. And then breathe out as slowly as you can. And your chest will remain lit, but becoming dimmer during the out breath. Okay, so we're repeating this for 12 cycles of in and out breaths. And, don't, over focus on the colors because they appear in their own way, just getting the white light, breathing in the white light. And I just want to, which I didn't do out loud, call on the presence of Almeen during this work with the breath of the divine. So we just ask Almeen's support for our breathing. Okay, breath 2, the breath of the winged ones. That is breath 2. Appreciative awareness, the unfolding perception and beauty of my eternal being reveals itself to me. Now, breath 3. Krihet Atma Unanis Tuvi, the breath of heaven and earth. I dwell in ever-renewed wonderment and rapture at the majesty of infinite life in finite expression. Now, this time, so our hand position is that our hands are resting on our thighs with the thumbs and index fingers touching. Okay, hands relaxed, palms facing upwards. This time, we are breathing in deeply and filling our abdomen with as much breath as possible. And you can emphasize it by distending the abdomen on the in-breath. So distend your abdomen. Just let your stomach move out as far as possible during the in-breath. And then on the out-breath, can just fall back to its original position. As before, we hold the breath for as long as possible. Okay, now we have the sort of creative element where, so on the in-breath, we see the abdomen filled with scene after scene of wildflowers or songbirds, clean rivers full of fish, thriving animal life, and scenes of fulfilled and happy people living in harmony with the earth. Okay, so nature and people in harmony, all right? So you may have many scenes coming up, just choose one scene for each of the 12 breaths. So you savor your scene as you hold your breath, and then you exhale with a long, slow out breath. And on the exhale, just choose to envision the scene that you have chosen moving from your inner space to the outer surroundings of your life. Know that as you breathe out, somewhere on earth, it becomes an actual reality. Okay? So, breath 3, the breath of heaven and earth. So 12 breaths again. That is breath 3, the breath of heaven and earth. I dwell in ever-renewed wonderment and rapture at the majesty of infinite life in finite expression. Breath 4, Atma Utu Kranavesvi Uhud, the breath of the little horn. I observe myself as the Mani through omniperspective perception rooted in inner vision. So this time you have your hands relaxed on your thighs, palms facing up, with your thumbs and middle fingers touching. So as we breathe in this time, we're filling our whole torso, chest, neck, and head with the in-breath. Breathing in, the color is bright white. And as you exhale, the color will change, but don't, pay too much attention to the colors as such. Okay. So we're breathing in deeply and holding the breath for as long as possible. And then when you breathe out, you're breathing out through the base of the spine. As you take your deep breath in and as you hold the breath, envision something that stirs positive feelings. So deep, intense, positive feelings, such as tenderness, wonderment, love. So for example, she gives the example, such as the tenderness you might feel when seeing the innocence of a newly hatched chick if you're holding it in your hands. And each of the 12 repetitions will have a unique and different envisioned scene and feeling. So again, breathe in deeply, hold the breath. The breath is white, and then envision something that stirs deep feelings. Then a long, slow out breath through the base of the spine, and know that the feelings you have felt, so they move out on the out breath and flow into the earth. So the intensity of the positive feelings is very important in this case, and to support you in deep feeling, just draw on things that you love and that really inspire you and stir your heart. And so keep the focus on the feelings throughout the breath. And as you exhale as well, so that your full feelings are going throughout the earth. Okay. So the breath of the little horn, I observe myself as the Mani through omniperspective perception rooted in inner vision. Your full body. So that is breath 4. I observe myself as the many through omniperspective perception rooted in inner vision. So now you can get into we're getting into the poses where you are lying down. So you can lie flat on your back with your arms relaxed by your sides, palms facing upwards. Breath 5 is Selvanechtasu Atma Karanu, the breath of the fire walk. Through the external perspective of omnisensory vision, the harmlessness of the timeless journey is revealed. So this time there are 12 repetitions again, and they are progressive. So they build on each other, culminating in magnitude during the 12th in-breath. So again, breathe in deeply while imagining your body growing larger and larger. So this is where you're seeing your body as a field rather than a solid mass. Your body is easily able to expand with each in-breath. Fill the expanding field with white light. And then as you gently relax and breathe out, see the expanded field stay as large as it was on the previous in-breath. So build the field larger and larger with each in-breath. Start by building it as large as the whole Earth. Next, bring it to the size of the solar system, then the galaxy, and until eventually it is the size of the cosmos. So we emphasize the expansion, and so we emphasize the in-breath over the out-breath. So you have 12 cycles of in and out breaths, and then on the last breath, contemplate the following. Chevech huras estavi mananech stuhabit ukleshvi haruset, prihabat kluvaveshvi arsanat, kreha uvanat sebahut arsanach ubli brihura satvi ananes, which translates as, all I can ever experience or perceive is created by that which I emphasize or suppress. I am the sovereign cause of my reality. So just on the 12th out breath, all I can ever experience or perceive is created by that which I emphasize or suppress. I am the sovereign cause of my reality. Okay. That is breath 5. All I can ever experience or perceive is created by that which I emphasize or suppress. I am the sovereign cause of my reality. Now, breath 6, the breath of the divine marriage, Atma Usu Amara Uhet. I exist in inspired illumination, expressing as a living work of art. So remain lying down, exactly the same position, hands and arms by your side, palms up, and know yourself to be a being as vast as the cosmos, having an embodied experience on Earth. Inhale as deeply and powerfully as you can. As you do, fill the entire cosmos with a diaphanous and transparent white light. So with white light, luminosity. Feel your awareness expand across planets, suns, and galaxies during this in-breath. As you breathe out, contract back to the body, again sweeping your awareness over the cosmic space. So we're sweeping space with our awareness. Repeat for a total of 12 cycles of in and out breaths. And on the last out breath, contemplate the following. Mihba Rutvi Aharan Nasvava Ukret Piravit Erkta Vri Uhuru Naspa. I affect all through the passion and joy of my existence. I affect all through the passion and joy of my existence. Okay, so know yourself to be a being as vast as the cosmos. I affect all through the passion and joy of my existence. And finally, we're on to the 7th breath. Atma Uhu Setvrahut Ananaspi, the breath of the fountain of life. I appreciate the poetry of the dance of light and shadow without judgment. So this breath, we have the first 11 breaths, and they alternate between outer space and inner space, using the navel as a doorway between outer and inner space. So again, you're lying flat. This time, you make a circle with your hands by placing your middle fingers tip to tip and the thumbs of both hands tip to tip. And you're placing this circle, palms down, around your belly button, as we're focusing on the belly button throughout, or this is an important focal point, okay? See your navel as the bridge between inner and outer space. So there is a pause between the in-breath and the out-breath, with every out-breath being similar to a rapid collapse. So like letting a stretched elastic band go. So it's not a forced out-breath, it's a rapid collapse. There is no gap between the out-breath and the in-breath. Okay, so pause between the in-breath and the out-breath, but no gap between the out-breath and the in-breath. So breathe in deeply. So the first breath will be into your outer space, filling the entire cosmos around you with your presence as a form of transparent luminosity. Pause before you exhale and feel the fullness of your presence throughout the cosmos or your outer space. Then contract your awareness to the belly button. And then you have the rapid collapse. Inhale without any pause and fill your inner cosmos or universe or inner space with your presence. Again, pause to feel the fullness of your inner presence and expression. And as you exhale, again, contract your inner vision back to the navel, and without a pause, you have the rapid collapse, and then inhale immediately. Okay, so we start with the outer space, and then the second half of that, then you have the inner space. Okay, outer space, inner space. Pausing each time to feel the fullness of your presence. For the 12th in-breath, breathe deeply into your inner cosmic space, filling it with your breath. So the first 11 are outer, inner, okay? And then the 12th one just is your inner cosmic space, okay? So this time, breathe into the inner space. Oh, I'm getting a bit mixed up here now. Let's just, right. So the 12th one, you're breathing deeply into your inner cosmic space, filling it with your breath. And this time, as you go to exhale, forcefully expel the breath with the intent of bursting the imaginary boundary between inner and outer space. The movement of the breath is similar to the folding movement of the tube torus. As the breath moves to the edge of the tube torus on the in-breath and then folds over and back to the center on the out-breath. On bursting the boundary between inner and outer space, you will discover that they have always been one. As you feel the after effects of combining inner and outer space, you may want to continue with some more rotational breaths. But only the 12th breath had the forceful expulsion on the out breath, okay? After that, the breath is just flowing in a smooth circle. Now, contemplate the following. I am the boundless ocean. No division can exist within my being. I am the boundless ocean. No division can exist within my being. So the hand position. Okay. The navel is the center point. I am the boundless ocean. No division can exist within my being.
Thank you, Jane. That was
Thank you,
lovely.
Joanne.
Can I just tell you, I had an experience while I was doing this, and on the 10th outer breath, I hang on a second. On the 10th outer breath, I had this experience where at the edge of the cosmos, I saw Almeen, and I said to her, "Oh," I was kind of surprised to see her there because I thought, it's probably nighttime there or whatever. I've obviously got mixed up because I think it's earlier. Oh no, it would be the middle of the night there. And I said to her, "Oh, I'm surprised to see you here. I would have thought that you were in inner space." And she said to me, "Outer is inner and inner is outer." So I thought that was really good.
That's brilliant. That
Yeah.
is brilliant. Outer is inner and inner is outer. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. No separation. I actually saw Amin as well throughout the yoga as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know, I was surprised as well. I was like, huh? Oh, there you are.
what are you doing there?
I saw her doing a retreat or she was having a talk with somebody or a group of people. Yeah. Everywhere at once, eh? Everywhere at once.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, everybody, so we are going to take a very short break, just about 5 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to, Vanessa's going to take over and she'll be doing leading us through the fragrance alchemy Belvas Bata. So I'm just going to put up on screen, just to share the screen with you, just the oils for anybody who has them. If you've already placed them on the body, that's great. And if you haven't, maybe you could do it quickly now. So I'm going to share this. Have a quick cup of tea if you have time, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thanks, everybody. That was beautiful.
Hello, everyone. So we're going to get to it because I kind of felt that I'm not setting up my camera, but I hope you can see me. Okay, so I'm going to read the equation for erasing the karma from the 12 meridians because we're actually clearing the 20 meridians. So those who don't have the oils or anything like that, just allow yourself to be receptive to and give yourself permission to clear yourself of these old stories, so to speak. And When I've read the equation for erasing the karma from the 12 meridians with the insights, then I will call in the Balvaspata angel gods to clear the 20 meridians of any and all sexual abuse. And we'll do it as a proxy for all life and all levels, multi-dimensional, all throughout existence. Okay. So you can just relax and listen to the insights. So the equation for erasing karma from the 12 meridians. The long meridian, grief. Patterns of old perceptions trapping negative emotions such as grief form blockages in the meridian. This manifests as karma, the result of regrets. Regrets dissolve when the wholeness of life is remembered, plus intolerance. When life is seen as whole, we accept the lesser contribution of others who, as the buds on the rose bush, have not blossomed into full flowering of consciousness. Intolerance disappears as we accept the contribution of diversity. Plus, frustration. Frustration is felt when we try and control the speed at which outcomes manifest. The obstructions of life are timing mechanisms needed when we lose contact with the natural rhythms of the flow of rest and activity. Plus, bitterness. By trusting and relaxing into the flow of life, its artistry can be seen. That which we regard as hardships serve as much of a purpose as times of peace, in knowing that through awareness and surrender, we can increase graceful change. Bitterness is replaced by poise. Through releasing the fear of not making the right choices or taking the right actions, clarity is restored. Authenticity unfolds and the journey of life becomes a graceful one. So that is the insight for clearing the long meridian. You know, you have the insight, and then we've placed the oils on the meridians. There are sigils you can use if you don't have the oils to place on your meridians. I'll read through now obviously the large intestine meridian next. Guilt. There is no foundation for the short-sighted perception that a mistake can be made when one assesses it from an eternal perspective. The fluid map of time represents the infinite's intent within cosmic life. Whatever direction we choose over the eons will prove to be innocent. There is only the infinite's will. Our freedom of choice merely is which of the paths we choose to explore, plus disappointment. All disappointment is self-made and stems from valuing the outcomes more than the quality of the journey. Attachment to the outcome can be described as the folly of attempting to dam up the raging river of life. As controlled outcome prohibits miracles from achieving results beyond our expectation. Expect miracles. Hold on loosely to your desires and enjoy the never-ending journey of existence. Plus remorse. Whether your chosen journey leads through light or leads through shadows, there is no right or wrong choice. Within the great pattern of existence, all is innocent when seen from an eternal perspective. Opposition to change. When spontaneity is missing from our lives, we become addicted to predictability. Addiction is always the result of suppressed expression. The false comfort of stagnation in the dam of the known will eventually be forced to yield to the river of change when we allow it to happen. Life changes gracefully rather than forcefully. Plus, the next one, the self-guided journey is one of inner strength and self-sovereignty, the aspects of life that we can self-determine our responses to what lies before us and what we choose to be inspired by. It is through our inspiration that we are guided rather than through forced change of our hardships. The stomach meridian, disgust. It is from self-imagined standards of what is acceptable and what is not that our disgust and disdain is born. Disgust cannot exist in the life of one who is self-accepting. In a lack of self-love, does one externalize as an object of disgust the components of yourself that you do not accept. Greed. In the illusion of limited supply and lack, do the seeds of greed sprout. The moment is like a treasure chest containing all that one needs to live it gloriously. It is only for the unaware that it seems lacking. We are part of nature, and all of nature is bounteous in its supply and endless expression. Shame. In our hearts lingers the long lost promise that our destiny and capabilities are so much more than they seem. This creates the feeling of inadequacy, failure, and shame. But during cosmic cycles of day and night, there are times of sleep and awakening. These are part of the eternal symphony of the infinite, and the level at which we are able to express is but part of the music. Blame. Through our lack of self-worth, we build ourselves up by reducing and blaming others. Shame, when turned outward, becomes blame. Let us acknowledge that in the unfathomable pattern of life's grand design, every life has equal worth. We can only honor but not dictate the choices of others. Equals. Intolerance for others can be replaced by a mindset that searches for the inspiration in the daily encounters of life. Unsung heroes are found everywhere because, unlike physical courage, moral courage goes unseen. To find the beauty of life as an unfolding work of art requires the still poise of a master who is able to see behind the appearances. Now, the spleen meridian, worry. Worrying is a self-destructive act because it attracts the negative outcome that it is concerned about. Knowing that our being is our sustenance, we can live in the moment, secure in knowing that we are the one at the helm of the reality we navigate. The future is created in the moment. If we abandon the moment to concern ourselves with the future is haphazardly formed rather than masterfully living the moment well. Anxiety about the future. The future is the known and the present. The future is the unknown. The present seems to be the known. Mind and its assistants, reason and intelligence, prefer the known to the unknown. But the known is not really known at all. It is rather a momentary snapshot of the changing face of the river of eternity. If we accept that nothing can be truly known, for in a moment it has already changed, then we can also come to terms with the unavoidable fact that all is a limitless ocean, an incomprehensible expression of the infinite one. Self-destructiveness. Through self-reflection, do we imagine our unworthiness? When we deem ourselves unworthy of success, we self-sabotage our achievements. If we self-consciously and authentically express our highest truth, the result will always be self-supportive. Mood swings. It is in finding enjoyment in the little things of life, through aware appreciation of the details, that our mood extremes become balanced. The joy of the mundane allows us to have stable platform for which to explore the valleys and hills of our responses to life. Equals. Through our aware appreciation, life flourishes in our environment. Through self-appreciation, the inner conflicts of obsolete programs yield to self-supported peace and contentment. The heart meridian, joylessness. Joy is restored by the expression of authentic desires of the self-fulfilled heart. Joy is found through optimizing the possibilities of the moment. It is the unconditional wonderment at the revelation of the divine in expression through individuated life. Anger. Anger is desire to change that which is seen to block evolution or progress, The realization that nothing can be cleared without moving it simply to another place, only to be encountered later, can inspire us to use a different tool than anger. Anger can break up stuck or stagnant areas of life, but unless we replace it with a new perception, this makes available, anger becomes destructive. Self-pity. The masses living in duality are steeped in self-pity because of the nature of a reality in which opposites are self-pillaging. For instance, more day is less night. Furthermore, according to the law of compensation, there is always a price to pay for flourishing. The stage of duality is but a stepping stone to the stages beyond and serves the purpose of strengthening and refining the experience of individuation. Neediness. The distorted perspective that there can be a loss or lack discounts the profound ability of an individual to affect his environment With a change of attitude, you are the master artist, chiseling the contours of your life. Equals. The decision to live a life of mastery of mind and self-sovereignty of emotional needs is a large one. Like deciding to build a temple, the bricks, however, have to be laid one shining moment at a time. The small intestine, insecurity. When someone in our environment becomes dominant, others tend to defer to that person. Certainty is not the equivalent of accuracy, and it is usually the more enlightened one that admits he does not know. Be secure in the awareness that no one is insignificant in the intricate design of life. Remove one strand from a spider web and it is weakened and incomplete. Sadness. Sadness arises when we believe that beneficial change is impossible and suffering is inevitable. Life changes from moment to moment, rewriting itself in discernible ways because complete reality shifts have no frame of reference we can use to measure them by. Encouraging changes cannot be seen, but have to be trusted. In this way, we become the vision holders of the world. Abandonment. Most distorted programs in the meridians can be eliminated by the dynamic and balanced expression of the inner subpersonalities, the inner child, the inner nurturer, the inner sage, and the inner warrior. When the inner child is expressed and nurtured by its inner family, it can never feel abandoned. The feeling of abandonment is always preceded by self-abandonment. Feeling unheard. The ability to be heard is depends on the listening to our own inner needs, desires and promptings, not heeding the intuitive and non-cognitive communications within, reflects outwardly into our interactions with others. When speaking your truth, do not expect to be understood. Only a master without a dialogue of the mind, say that again, only a master without a dialogue of the mind can hear you. Both the universe is listening and will, but the universe is listening and will respond. Okay. Equals, acknowledge with gratitude the support of the universe, for that which receives gratitude increases as an expression of infinite life. You do not need to justify your existence. You complete the picture of the artistry of your life in your own way. The bladder meridian, fright and shock. The most debilitating effect of fright and shock is the tremendous loss of energy that takes place when it occurs. To prevent this completely, clear the mind, for if emergency action is required, an empty mind will ensure that an automatic response takes place. Impatience. Rapid expectations of how the timing of unfolding events should occur, as well as how events should unfold, create impatience. The result is increased tension in the body, which keeps it in a state of density. Many deliberately create tense situations so that they can maintain an addiction to density. This keeps them from experiencing fear of their vastness. The resolution for this is the knowledge that we are a being as vast as the cosmos having a human experience, a consciousness superimposed over all that is. Restlessness. Restlessness results from an imbalance between the receptive and proactive aspects within. Neither the imbalance of excess beingness nor the excess of doingness promotes the proper flow of energy needed for the continual evolution of consciousness. The one causes stagnation and the one causes stagnation and the other causes a leakage of energy. The realization that one's value lies as much in who they are as in what they do helps to bring balance. It is necessary to remind ourselves that the emergency made of restlessness that we carry through our day is self-made and unnecessary. Unfulfillment, divine discontent is within all creatures in the plant, reaching for the sun, the migration of the animals and birds and the baby reaching for its mother. When it draws us out of the moment, it becomes an impediment to self-actualization for available potential. When it is used as a reminder that life is an adventure to be explored, it can assist in preventing the stagnation of complacency, hear its voice, But do not obsess about it. Focus instead on the fulfillment that is available. Equals, upon the many roads of the infinite, the individual may choose which one he wishes to travel on. Unless he listens to the inspired guidance of his heart, the journey will be determined by the forced and often traumatic prodding of life. The self-sovereign acceptance that our life can unfold within grace and inspired, provides a beacon of hope on the eternal journey. The kidney meridian next. Fear. Fear is a stranger to one who has embraced knowledge that we live in an unknowable universe, that what we think we know changes constantly in unseen ways. Fear is born of the mind's desire to control by labeling everything. It signals that we have encountered an area of our life that we have not yet embraced in surrendered trust. Indecision. When one cannot rely on the rational input of the mind to make decisions, navigating life can seem like a daunting prospect. Indecision can result. The heart's guidance can also be misleading when emotional neediness is at the helm. When our inner child and the rest of our inner family are parented, the heart is fulfilled and becomes a reliable source of inspiration. Decisions are based on the inner guidance of our inspiration. Loss and deprivation. One cannot make a hole in the ocean. Loss must be immediately replaced by something else. The opening left by loss, like a tree felled in the forest, leaves room for something new to grow. By focusing on what is now possible, that was not before, we maximize the gifts of loss. Victimization and injustice. In feeling victimized, we lose our personal power by becoming an effect rather than a cause. The environment is the expression of ourselves. Taking responsibility for it and acknowledging that we change our environment by changing ourselves is the way of the master. Equals wanting life to change in beneficial ways, but losing sight of the fact that we accomplish this by changing ourselves is to abdicate the throne of self-determination. Precardium and circulation meridian. Emotional injury. Comfort for emotional injury lies in the self-sovereignty of inner balance. This is achieved by the contribution and expression of the sub-personalities, the inner child, inner nurturer, inner sage, and inner warrior. The hard knocks of the world become bearable when we have a happy inner home. Addiction. Addiction takes place when self-expression is suppressed or absent. It fills the gaps of self-abandonment until we come home to ourselves. In the rush of a life of duties, the dynamic balance of proactivity, action, and receptivity, rest, is often disturbed. The surrendered life rests during activity. We're nearly there.
Oh.
Jealousy. When we carry the burden of self-reflection rather than self-examination, we create for ourselves the ball and chain of self-pity and self-importance. Self-examination ensures that we are living our highest truth. Self-reflection compares and contrasts ourselves with others, the source of jealousy. Regret. When we consider that the infinite perfection of life unfolding underlies everything, we must also consider that there are no wrong choices or mistakes to regret. The choice to travel a road of shadow is to embrace the choice of hardship as our teacher, rather than inspiration, both to find the divinity that is in all beings. Equals, to express authentically from a purified heart reveals the mystery of the self through our actions. Through unfolding self-knowledge comes self-love and self-regard. It is when we enjoy our own company that, being self-fulfilled, we find joy in interaction with others. They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
The thyroid meridian, hopelessness. The complexity of life can cause feelings of overwhelm and hopelessness. The illusion of the many having more power than the one is one of the most pervasive impediments to self-empowerment of the individual. We have been standing in a hall of mirrors created by the matrices formed by our belief systems. If hundreds of mirror images raise their hand when we do, how can they possibly have more power than the point of origin, the individual? Depression. Depression is the unexpressed anger and frustration we feel turned inwards. The frustration of not being able to make a difference is often the root of depression. How large a difference we can make is, however, our choice. It all depends on how much responsibility we are prepared to take for our environment. We cannot change any part of the whole without affecting all the other parts. Despair. The root of feeling of despair is the desire to give up. The positive attitude of surrendering through trust in the perfection lying behind the appearances can become distorted into despair when we fail to raise our eyes above the storm. When we get drawn into the limited visions of man by engaging in their games, we become trapped in the mirrored world of despair. Suicidal tendencies. The desire to signal that help is needed through suicide attempts is a desire to have someone else save us and validate our worth. The low self-esteem that precedes suicide attempts comes from deep feelings of self-abandonment. The world seems empty when our inner child, inner nurture, and inner sage, inner warrior are not whole and expressing, creating a strategy to incorporate little things in our day that make our hearts sing our stair steps out of such depression, out of such deep depression. Equals finding at least one thing each day to be grateful for, and one thing that makes us happy breaks the pattern of despair and depression. One step at a time. This signals the brain to release the hormones that establish well-being, and thus our joyous responses to life increases. I'll read that again. This signals the brain to release the hormones that establish well-being, and thus our joyous responses to life increases. The gallbladder meridian, rage. Within rage lie the elements of anger, frustration, and desperation. It can be triggered by injustice, disrespect, and other factors that block self-expression. It is the desire to break up that which imprisons and impedes. The method through which such blockages can be broken up to yield the energy and insights that they hold is by finding the stagnant patterns they represent within us and letting those patterns go. Impotence. Impotence can be felt when others or circumstances suppress our freedom of choice. But there is one choice that can never be taken away: the way we respond to what life delivers to our doorstep. We can choose to either feel victimized or to seek the gifts of insight it brings. Self-importance. Self-importance we create for ourselves comes from a complete lack of perspective. Whichever standard of excellence is achieved is but part of today's dream within our eternal existence. The standard of today can be but the springboard for achievements of tomorrow if we are humble enough. Stagnation and stuckness. Complacency born of the approval of others or the comfort of our own prison bars of belief systems is a thief that subtly steals our power. Stuckness comes when we are imprisoned by problems for which we can find no solutions. However, for every problem, the solution already lies within it. Think beyond the obvious and strategize your way out of the situation. Equals, when we are ready to transcend an existing paradigm's boundaries, we often find ourselves feeling hemmed in and confined. The butterfly leaving the cocoon and the baby leaving the womb both feel the same discomfort that compels them forward beyond present boundaries. The liver meridian, protectiveness. The need for protectiveness is the result of feeling that we live in an unsafe universe, ignoring the fact that we choose our reality by our attitudes, either haphazardly or masterfully. The protectiveness that we manifest in our relationships comes from valuing laughter more than tears. In retrospect, we can see that the tears often have been the greater teacher. Desire to save. The desire to save is the arrogant worldview that life manifests imperfectly and requires our assistance if someone or something in our path need help. It is our privilege to assist because it is part of our next step, but many who feel unlovable settle for feeling needed in order to boost their self-esteem. Phobias. Phobias form because of misplaced terror. Terror is that nameless and huge sorry, I'm trying to read this. Phobias form because of misplaced terror. Terror is that nameless and huge, is manageable, okay, when transferred onto something small and recognizable. Unless we find the insights of the original terror, continually repressing them creates a dialogue in the mind that clouds our perceptions and keeps us in ego identification. Obsessiveness. Obsessiveness results from believing, firstly, that we are overwhelmingly confronted with hostile forces and elements are unpredictable. Secondly, the notion that sustains obsessiveness exists because we think that we can control and contain it. Somehow, the obsessiveness supports the decision that we are able to make life more predictable. The quality of the journey is all we may contribute to through our chosen attitudes. but the acceptance of the unknowable, eternal journey of existence allows us to relax and release the folly of attempted control, equals to cultivate an eternal perspective and a poetic point of view, sees life as an unfolding work of art. The knowledge that whatever choices we make from our highest truth, we are contributing in a unique way, releases the angst of inadequate performance on our part. Without fear or failure, we can approach life with aware appreciation. And now we are going to do a beautiful healing of early childhood trauma. So get yourselves really relaxed, as you probably already are. And we're going to clear the meridians. I just wanted to read the insights to you so you could, integrate that into your body while we were calling them in. So just bear with me. So what we're going to be doing now, the 8 ways in which the memories were kept, cellular memory, the function. So we're going to be clearing the cellular memory, the instinctual memory, the racial memory, the membranes between realities, the membranes of the eyes and the optic nerve, and the membranes of the ears. So they help clear what was seen, what was heard, emergency responses held in the chakras, things like that. Membranes, in the psoas muscle, they're all going to be cleared today. And the hair also, which holds memories of extrasensory experiences, which happens outside our range of perception. So, okay, I'm going to call forth now. La Utvapata, for the opening of the mind. For the opening of the mind, I call forth the angel god, Rusat the Urabak, and I instruct you to place your sigil within all present. Ruvek Pa Urarek, for the opening of the heart, I call upon the angel god Irun Umobak. Yelavispava, for receptivity of the body, I call forth the angel god through Ariuplava. For the healing of early development trauma, I call forth Mekpa Suvi Hanat. I call upon the angel god Bish Herevespi Asanat to place your sigil within all present for the removal of early childhood trauma and the healing of sexual abuse. Sikhut Ublisvi. I call upon the angel god Mesnet Selevit to place your sigil within all present as a proxy for all of life. Sirsanat Hetvi. I call the angel god Meste Nenovis to place your sigil within all present. Stelvahut Arspa, I call upon the angel god Mispek Bilavetspi to place your sigil within all present. Sihat Kilinesvi, I call the angel god Kasana Sivavet to place your sigil within all present. Sihak Isanatvi, I call upon the angel god Kelsey Erastavi to place your sigil within all present. Mananak Sehevavi, I call upon the angel god Hisatra Bilavespi to place your sigil within all present. Neneskar Siklavi, I call upon the angel god Bisaret Nenekla to place your sigil within all present. Verarat Araves, I call upon the angel god Sakla Heruhit to place your sigil within all present. Parspanut Esavi, I call upon the angel god Akra Subavit to place your sigil within all present. Karasava Nexpi, I call upon the angel god Klisaret Perenur to place your sigil within all present. Tri harasava. I'll say that again. Tri harasa mesetre. I call upon the angel god Essa Nick Visanat to place your sigil within all present. Esva Ninesta. I call upon the angel god Pirevit Arenas to place your sigil within all present. Hisalavet Mekpa. I call upon the angel god Meknet Heresva to place your sigil within all present. Estra Birarek. I call upon the angel god Mistre Husparek to place your sigil within all present. Mirek tu Neseva. I call upon the angel god Sivet Arestu to place your sigil within all present. Misenekvi Salvatut. I call upon the angel god Bigpa Savahat to place your sigil within all present. Kelspa Haraknavet. I call upon the angel god Helsat Ukresve to place your sigil within all present. Kerseta Ublikvi. I call upon the angel god Big Spa Orespi to place your sigil within all present. Sihut Satve Minuhet. I call upon the angel god Karas U Herevespa to place your sigil within all present. And now I end this holy and sacred healing with praise, love, gratitude. Trust, hope, innocence, intimacy, reverence, and self-regard. I'll put you back to Joanne.
Thanks so much, Vanessa. That was amazing. And there was so much to get through. Gee, Cruz, you're amazing. You got through so much.
Very fast.
Brilliant. So we actually have a little bit of time to spare. So if you'd like, it's totally up to you. But if you'd like, we can. You can actually, if you'd like to do a little short meditation for a couple of minutes.
As we have just received this holy and sacred Balvaspata, and as we've done it as a proxy for all of existence, just stay in your remained position. And all of the gifts will ripple throughout all of existence. For this has been done. It is happening as we speak, as we connect in our oneness to the aliveness of all things. And I am with you, beloved ones. It is in my heart. I see you. My God. As we lay here together as one, may all healed within our being and our inner family and our inner child. I actually feel quite teary, sorry. Throughout the earth. And all of existence. May all of us be blessings on this beloved earth. Amen.
Thank you, Vanessa. Beautiful. So we're just going to stay in a beautiful silent place for the next couple of minutes. We're just going to breathe deeply. Breathing in Almin and breathing out what no longer serves us. Breathing in all of the beauty of infinite life. And releasing the obsolete. Breathing in the love that we feel for ourselves and for each other. Breathing that into our inner space. And then envisioning it on the out breath, rippling out throughout the whole earth and the cosmos. We're just going to take 5 minutes in this beautiful space. And when we return, we will be invoking the angel gods of ascension the first few of them anyway.